A bombshell claim has emerged about one of the biggest transfer decisions Celtic have made in recent years, and it involves a former chairman who had serious doubts at the time. We've also got Ali McCoist going after Celtic fan media, a worrying update on Callum McGregor, and Johnny Kenny is absolutely on fire on loan. A big one today, let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Journalist Keith Jackson has made a significant claim this week, reporting that former Celtic chairman Peter Lawwell had deep concerns over the sale of Kyogo Furuhashi back in January 2025, specifically because no ready-made replacement had been lined up before the deal was pushed through. At the time, Lawwell was reportedly worried about the impact Kyogo's departure would have on the rest of that season. As it turned out, those fears did not materialise immediately. Brendan Rodgers went on to win the title comfortably, and the squad managed without him well enough down the stretch. But that is starting to look like a case of getting away with a bad decision rather than it actually being a good one. The longer-term consequences are now becoming much harder to ignore. This season, with no striker consistently filling that role, the absence of someone with Kyogo's movement, sharpness, and finishing has been painfully obvious. He was a player who could conjure something from nothing, who linked play and scored goals at crucial moments. Replacing that kind of player was never going to be easy, and the reality is Celtic simply did not replace him. Jackson wrote in the Daily Record that Lawwell viewed the Kyogo sale as the start of something much more catastrophic for the club, with the benefit of hindsight. The claim itself suggests information coming from someone close to the boardroom, which adds weight to it. What is most damaging is the suggestion that concerns existed internally at the time, and the deal still went ahead without a solution in place. Lawwell has now stepped down, Rodgers has left, and Celtic are in third place in the league, fighting to make the Champions League. The dots are not difficult to connect. Now for the main story, as Ali McCoist has hit back after being labelled deranged by Celtic fan media, following his comments about the post-split fixtures and whether they favour the Hoops in the title run-in. McCoist had suggested Celtic were getting a favourable run of fixtures at the business end of the season, a claim that was quickly challenged by fan outlets who pushed back on the framing and accused him of talking nonsense. One site reportedly used the word deranged to describe his take. McCoist was not going to let that slide quietly. Speaking on TalkSport, he said, "Shock horror, Ali McCoist getting stick from Celtic fans. Well, knock me sideways. As far as I can remember, it's happened for the best part of 40 years, me getting stick." He also acknowledged the back and forth with his co-presenters, adding, "There was a part of me winding up Brazil. He was doing the same to me. But listen, it's not ideal. It never will be ideal. But as I said before, the one thing that it is exciting. Nobody is pretending this is the most serious story of the week, and McCoist clearly enjoys the wind-up as much as anyone. But the reason Celtic fan media reacted so sharply is simple. This title race is on a knife edge. Hearts are in front, Rangers are in second, and Celtic are third. Every point matters, every fixture detail is being analysed, and the idea of any narrative being pushed that gives external factors credit for Celtic's position rather than the performances themselves hits a raw nerve. With 5 games left and direct clashes against both Hearts and Rangers still to come, the title will be settled on the pitch. That is all that matters now. In other news, Scott Brown has spoken out about a Celtic issue that has not been getting enough attention, revealing that Callum McGregor has been playing through injury for several weeks, and that Arne Engel's absence has made that situation significantly worse. Brown made the point clearly. Without Engels in the team, McGregor has been forced to do everything in midfield, set the tempo, cover ground, deal with pressure, and keep the team ticking over, all while not being fully fit. He came off during the win over St Mirren, and it has been a pattern in recent games where he has started well, but not always been able to see matches out. Brown told the Daily Record, "There were times when he maybe wasn't fully fit, but he would still make himself available. That's what you want from a teammate. You need your best players out there on the park for as long as they can be." Obviously, he didn't last the whole game on Saturday, but even if you get 60 or 70 minutes out of him, then you can try to get the game won in that time. You've got to remember Arne Engels has had injury issues as well, but Cal's the one who is there. Even though he's injured, he still makes himself available. That shows his will to go that extra yard more than anyone else. The good news is that Engels has now returned from his injury layoff, coming off the bench against St Mirren in what was his first appearance since February. His presence gives O'Neill another option and, crucially, takes some of the load off McGregor heading into the final stretch of the season. With 5 league games remaining, plus the Scottish Cup semi-final, getting McGregor through to the end of the season as close to fully fit as possible could be the difference between winning this title and falling short. In other news, talk of Callum McGregor leaving Celtic for Saudi Arabia has resurfaced, with former Celtic striker Frank McAvenny suggesting he would not be surprised to see the captain reunite with Brendan Rodgers at Al Qadsiya this summer. McGregor addressed the speculation earlier in the season and shut it down clearly, stating he was staying put and focused on Celtic. Nothing has changed officially. There have been no confirmed offers, no advanced talks, and no sign from the club that they are preparing for life without their captain. But McAvenny has offered his honest take. Speaking to the Celtic Way, he said, "I wouldn't be surprised if he goes and joins Brendan in Saudi Arabia, and he would go with my blessing. He's been absolutely superb. He's not getting found out, but he's just not getting the players around to help him. At 33, you need younger legs, and he'd still be the catalyst, but he's not got them at the moment." That last point is the important one. McGregor at 33 is still the most important player in this Celtic team. When he plays, everything goes through him. When he comes off, Celtic lose their grip on games. That level of dependency on one player is actually the argument for keeping him and building around him, not for letting him go. The Saudi link will keep resurfacing as long as Rodgers is there and McGregor is at this stage of his career. But right now, with 5 games left in a title race Celtic are very much still in, any talk of him leaving belongs firmly in the background. Lastly, Johnny Kenny is on a remarkable run of form for Bolton Wanderers, and the debate about his future at Celtic is growing louder with every goal. The 21-year-old has now scored in 3 consecutive games for Bolton, with his latest coming in a 5-1 win over Stevenage on Tuesday night. He led the line, got his goal before coming off after 68 minutes, and continued to show exactly the kind of composure and movement that has made this loan spell such a success story. When you look at the whole picture, the numbers are seriously impressive for a young striker finding his feet in senior football. Goals in 3 straight games, previous assists, and consistent starts through the middle. He is not just getting minutes, he is genuinely affecting games and becoming a key part of what Bolton are doing. The question being asked more loudly now is a difficult one for Celtic to answer. With the striker situation at the club still unresolved, Shvansara struggling on loan, and Iheanacho's future uncertain, Kenny is out there proving week after week that he can lead the line and score goals. There is a gap in quality between League One and the Scottish Premiership. Nobody is pretending otherwise. But form is form, and confidence is everything for a striker. Kenny is currently high on both.